Good evening and welcome to week 29 of Plaguespeare and Company. Tonight we are pleased to bring you Shakespeare's adventurous story of Pericles, Prince of Tyre, a swashbuckling tale of princes and princesses, pirates and knights. So grab your popcorn and a tasty beverage, sit back and relax and enjoy Pericles, Prince of Tyre.
To sing a song that old was sung, from ashes ancient Gower is come, assuming man's infirmities to glad your ear and please your eyes. It hath been sung at festivals, on ember eves and holy ales, and lords and ladies in their lives have read it for restoratives. The purchase is to make men glorious, et bonum quo antiquis Iomilius. If you, born in those latter times when wit's more ripe, accept my rhymes, and that to hear an old man sing may to your wishes pleasure bring, I life would wish, and that I might waste it for you like taper light. This Antioch then, Antiochus the Great, built up this city for his chiefest seat, the fairest in all Syria. I tell you what mine authors say. This king unto him took a peer, who died and left a female heir, so buxom, blithe, and full of face, as heaven had lent her all his grace, with whom the father liking took, and her to incest did provoke. Bad child, worse father, to entice his own to evil, should be done by none. But custom, what they did begin, was with long use accounted no sin. The beauty of this sinful day made many princes thither frame, to seek her as a bedfellow, in marriage pleasure's playfellow, which to prevent he made a law, to keep her still, and men in awe, that whoso asked her for his wife, his riddle told not, lost his life. So for her many a wight did die, as yon grim looks do testify. What now ensues, to the judgment of your eye, I give my cause, who best can justify.
Young Prince of Tyre, you have at large received the danger, the task you undertake.
I have, Antiochus, and with a soul emboldened with the glory of her praise, think death no hazard in this enterprise.
Bring in our daughter, clothed like a bride, for embracements even of Jove himself, at whose conception till Lucina reigned, nature this dowry gave. To glad her presence, the senate house of planets all did sit, to knit in her their best perfections.
See where she comes, apparelled like the spring, graces her subjects and her thoughts the king. Of every virtue gives renown to men. Her face the book of praises, where is read nothing but curious pleasures as from thence. Sorrow were ever raised, and testy wrath could never be her mild companion. The gods that made me man and sway in love, that have inflamed desire in my breast, to taste the fruit of yon celestial tree, or die in the adventure, be my helps, as I am son and servant to your will, to compass such a boundless happiness.
Prince Pericles.
That would be son to great Antiochus.
Before thee stands this fair Hesperides, with golden fruit, but dangerous to be touched. For death-like dragons here affright thee hard. Her face, like heaven, enticeth thee to view her countless glory, which desert must gain, and which without desert, because thine eye presumes to reach, all the whole heap must die. Yon sometimes famous princes, like thyself, drawn by report, adventurous by desire, tell thee with speechless tongues and semblance pale, that without covering, save yon field of stars, here they stand martyrs, slain in Cupid's wars, and with dead cheeks advise thee to desist from going on death's net, whom none resist.
Antiochus, I thank thee, who hath taught my frail mortality to know itself, and by those fearful objects to prepare this body, like to them to what I must. For death remembered should be like a mirror, who tells us life's but breath, to trust it error. I'll make my will then, and as sick men do, who know the world, see heaven, but feeling woe, gripe not at earthly joys as erst they did. So I bequeath a happy peace to you, and all good men, as every prince should do. My riches to the earth from whence they came, but my unspotted fire of love for you, thus ready for the way of life or death. I wait the sharpest blow, Antiochus.
Scorning advice, read the conclusion then, which, read and not expounded, 'tis decreed, as these before thee, thou thyself shalt bleed.
Like a bold champion, I assume the lists, nor ask advice of any other thought, but faithfulness and courage. I am no viper, yet I feed on mother's flesh which did me breed. I sought a husband in which labor I found that kindness in a father. He's father, son, and husband mild. I mother, wife, and yet his child. How they may be, and yet in two as you will live, resolve it you. Sharp physic is the last. Oh, but, oh, you powers that give heaven countless eyes to view men's acts, why cloud they not with sights perpetually? If this be true, which makes me pale to read it. Fair glass of light, I loved you and could still, were not this glorious casket stored with ill. But I must tell you now my thoughts revolt, for he's no man on whom perfections wait, that knowing sin within will touch the gate. You are a fair viol, and your sense the strings, who fingered to make man his lawful music, would draw heaven down, and all the gods hearken, but being played upon before your time, hell only danceth at so harsh a chime. Good sooth, I care not for you.
Prince Pericles, touch not upon thy life, for that's an article within our law as dangerous as the rest. Your time's expired. Either expound now or receive your sentence.
Great king, few love to hear the sins they love to act. 'Twould braid yourself too near for me to tell it. Who has a book of all that monarchs do? He's more secure to keep it shut than shown. For vice repeated is like the wandering wind, blows dust in others' eyes to spread itself, and yet the end of all is bought thus dear. The breath is gone, and sore eyes see clear to stop the air that would hurt them. The blind mold casts copped hills towards heaven to tell the earth is thronged by man's oppression, and the poor worm doth die for it. Kings are earth's gods, in vice their laws, their will, and if Jove stray, who dares say Jove doth ill? If it is enough you know, and it is fit, what being more known grows worse to smother it? All of the womb that their first being bred can give my tongue like leave to love my head.
Heaven that I had thy head. He has found the meaning, but I will glose with him. Young Prince of Tyre, though by the tenor of our strict edict your exposition misinterpreting, we might proceed to cancel of your days. Yet hope, succeeding from so fair a tree as your fair self, doth tune us otherwise. 40 days longer we do respite you, if by which time our secret be undone, this mercy shows we'll joy in such a son, and until then your entertain shall be, as doth befit our honor and your worth.
Oh, how courtesy would seem to cover sin, when what is done is like a hypocrite, which in good is nothing but in sight. If it be true that I interpret false, then were it certain you were not so bad as with foul incest to abuse your soul, where now you're both a father and a son by your oncoming claspings with your child, which pleasures fits a husband, not a father. And she an eater of her mother's flesh by the defiling of her parents' bed, and both like serpents are, who though they feed on sweeter flowers, yet they poison breed. Antioch, farewell. For wisdom sees those men blush not in actions blacker than the night, will shew no course to keep them from the light. One sin I know, another doth provoke, murders as near to lust as flame to smoke. Poison and treason are the hands of sin, aye, and the targets to be put off the shame. Then lest my life be cropped to keep you clear, by flight I'll shun the danger which I fear.
He hath found the meaning for which we mean to have his head. He must not live to trumpet forth my infamy, nor tell the world Antiochus doth sin in such a loathed manner. And therefore instantly this prince must die, for by his fall my honors must keep high. Who attends us there?
Doth your highness call?
Thaliard, you are of our chamber. Thaliard, and our mind partakes her private actions to your secrecy, and for your faithfulness we will advance you, Thaliard. Behold, here's poison and here's gold. We hate the Prince of Tyre, and thou must kill him. It fits thee not to ask the reason why, because we bid it. Say, is it done?
My lord, 'tis done.
Enough. Let your breath cool yourself, telling your haste.
My lord, Prince Pericles is fled.
As thou wilt live, fly after, and like an arrow shot from a well-experienced archer hits the mark his eye doth level at, so thou never return, unless thou say Prince Pericles is dead.
My lord, if I can get him within my pistol's length, I'll make him sure enough. So farewell, your highness.
Thaliard, adieu. Till Pericles be dead, my heart can lend no succor to my head.
Let none disturb us. Why should this change of thoughts, the sad companion, dull-eyed melancholy, be my so us the guess as not an hour, in the day's glorious walk or peaceful night, the tomb where grief should sleep can breed me quiet. Here, pleasures court mine eyes, and mine eyes shun them, and danger which I feared is at Antioch, whose arm seems far too short to hit me here. Yet neither pleasure's art can joy my spirits, nor yet the other's distance comfort me. Then it is thus. The passions of the mind that have their first conception by misdread, have after nourishment and life by care. And what was first but fear what might be done, grows elder now, and cares it not be done. And so with me, the great Antiochus, against whom I am too little to contend, since he's so great, can make his will his act, will think me speaking, though I swear to silence, nor it boots me not to say I honor him. If he suspect I may dishonor him, and what may make him blush in being known, he'll stop the course by which it might be known. With hostile forces, he'll overspread the land, and with the extent of war, will look so huge. Amazement shall drive courage from the state. Our men be vanquished ere they do resist, and subjects punished that ne'er thought offense which care of them, not pity of myself, who am no more but as the tops of trees, which fence the roots they grow by and defend them. Both my body pine and soul to languish, and punish that before it he would punish.
Joy and comfort in your sacred breast.
And keep your mind till you return to us peaceful and comfortable.
Peace, peace, and give experience tongue. They do abuse the king that flatter him. For flattery is the bellows blows up sin, the thing that which is flattered, but a spark to which that blast gives heat and stronger glowing. Whereas reproof, obedient and in order, fits kings as they are men, for they may err. When Signor Sooth here does proclaim peace, he flatters you, makes war upon your life. Prince, pardon me, or strike me if you please. I cannot be much lower than my knees.
All leave us else, but let your cares o'erlook what shipping and what ladlings in our haven, and then return to us. Helicanus, thou hast moved us. What seest thou in our looks?
An angry brow, dread lord.
If there be such a dart in prince's frowns, how durst thy tongue move anger to our face?
How dares the plants look up to heaven, from whence they have their nourishment?
Thou knowest I have power to take thy life from thee.
I have ground the axe myself. Do but you strike the blow.
Rise, prithee, rise. Sit down. Thou art no flatterer. I thank thee for it, and heaven forbid that kings should let their ears hear their faults hid. Fit counselor and servant for a prince, who by thy wisdom makes a prince thy servant. Who wouldst thou have me do?
To bear with patience such griefs as you yourself do lay upon yourself.
Thou speakst like a physician, Helicanus, that ministers a potion unto me, that thou wouldst tremble to receive thyself. Attend me then. I went to Antioch, where, as you knowest, against the face of death, I sought the purchase of a glorious beauty, from whence an issue I might propagate our arms to princes and bring joys to subjects. Her face was to mine eye beyond all wonder, the rest heart in thine ear as black as incest, which by my knowledge found the sinful father seemed not to strike, but smooth. But thou knowest this. 'Tis time to fear when tyrants seem to kiss, which fear so grew in me, I hither fled, under the covering of a careful knight, who seemed my good protector, and being here bethought was what was past and what might succeed. I knew him tyrannous, and tyrants' fears decrease not, but grow faster than the years, and should he doubt it, as no doubt he doth, that I should open to the listening air. How many worthy princes' blood was shed to keep his bed of blackness unlaid oak, to lop that doubt. He'll fill his land with arms and make pretense of wrong that I have done him. When all for mine, if I may call offense, but feel war's blow, who spares not innocence, which love to all, of which thyself art one, who now reprovest me for.
Alas, sir.
Through sleep out of mine eyes, blood from my cheeks, musings into my mind with thousand doubts. How might I stop this tempest ere it came? And finding little comfort to relieve them, I thought it princely charity to grieve for them.
Well, my lord, since you have given me leave to speak freely, I will speak. Antiochus you fear, and justly too, I think you fear the tyrant, who, either by public war or private treason, will take away your life. Therefore, my lord, go travel for a while, till that his rage and anger be forgot, or till the destinies do cut his thread of life. Your rule direct to any, if to me day serves not light more faithful than I'll be.
Do not doubt thy faith. But should he wrong my liberties in my absence?
We'll mingle our bloods together in the earth, from whence he had our being and our birth.
Oh, Tyre, I now look from thee then, and to Tharsis intend my travels, where he'll hear from thee, and by whose letters I'll dispose myself. The care I had and have of subjects good on thee I lay, whose wisdom's strength can bear it. I'll take thy word for faith, not ask thine oath. Who shuns not to break one will crack them both. But in our orbs will live so round and safe. The time of both this truth shall ne'er convince. Thou show'st a subject's shine, I, the true prince.
So this is Tyre, and this the court. Here must I kill King Pericles. If I do not, I'm sure to be hanged at home. 'Tis dangerous. Well, I perceive he was a wise fellow and had some good discretion, that being bid to ask what he would of the king, desired he might know none of his secrets. Now do I see he had some reason for it. For if a king bid a man be a villain, he's bound by the indenture of his oath to be one. Hush! Here come the lords of Tyre.
You shall not need, my fellow peers of Tyre, further to question me of your king's departure. His sealed commission left in trust with me does speak sufficiently he's gone to travel.
How? The king gone?
Further yet, you will be satisfied why, as it were unlicensed of your loves, he would depart. I'll give some light unto you. Being at Antioch.
What? From Antioch?
Royal Antiochus, on what cause I know not, took some displeasure at him, at least he judged so, and doubting lest he had erred or sinned to show his sorrow, he'd correct himself. So puts himself unto the shipman's toil, with whom each minute threatens life or death.
Well, I perceive I shall not be hanged now, although I would. But since he's gone, the king's seas must please. He 'scaped the land to perish at the sea. I'll present myself. Peace to the lords of Tyre.
Lord Thaliard from Antiochus is welcome.
From him I come, with message unto princely Pericles. But since my landing, I have understood your lord has betook himself into unknown travels. Now message must return from whence it came.
We have no reason to desire it, commended to our master, not to us. Yet ere you shall depart, this we desire. As friends to Antioch, we may feast in Tyre.
My Dionysa, shall we rest us here and by relating tales of others' griefs, see if 'twill teach us to forget our own?
That were to blow at fire and hope to quench it. For who digs hills because they do aspire, throws down one mountain to cast up a higher? Oh, my distressed lord, even such our griefs are. Here they are but felt and seen with mischief's eyes, but like to groves, being topped, they higher rise.
O Dionysa, who wanteth food and will not say he wants it, or can conceal his hunger till he famish? Our tongues and sorrows to sound deep our woes into the air, our eyes to weep till tongues fetch breath that may proclaim them louder, that if heaven slumber while their creatures want, they may awake their helpers to comfort them. I'll then discourse our woes, felt several years, and wanting breath to speak, help me with tears.
I'll do my best, sir.
This Tarsus, o'er which I have the government, a city on whom plenty held full hand, for riches strewed herself even in her streets, whose towers bore heads so high they kissed the clouds, and strangers ne'er beheld but wondered at, whose men and dames so jetted and adorned, like one another's glass to trim them by, their tables were stored full to glad the sight, and not so much to feed on as delight. All poverty was scorned, and pride so great, the name of help grew odious to repeat.
Oh, 'tis too true.
But see what heaven can do by this our change. These mouths who, but of late, earth, sea, and air, were all too little to content and please, although they gave their creatures in abundance, as houses are defiled for want of use, they are now starved for want of exercise. Those palates who, not yet 2 summers younger, must have inventions to delight the taste, would now be glad of bread and beg for it. Those mothers who, to nozzle up their babes, thought not too curious, are ready now to eat those little darlings whom they loved. So sharp are hunger's teeth that man and wife draw lots who first shall die to lengthen life. Here stands a lord and there a lady weeping, here many sink, yet those which see them fall have scarce strength left to give them burial. Is not this true?
Our cheeks and hollow eyes do witness it.
Oh, let those cities that of plenty's cup and her prosperity so largely taste, with their superfluous riots hear these tears. The misery of Tarsus may be theirs.
Where's the Lord Governor?
Here, speak out thy sorrows which thou bringst in haste, for comfort is too far for us to expect.
We have descried upon our neighboring shore a portly sail of ships make hitherward.
I thought as much. One sorrow never comes but brings an heir that may succeed as his inheritor. And so in ours some neighboring nation, taking advantage of our misery, hath stuffed the hollow vessels with their power to beat us down, the which are down already, and make a conquest of unhappy me, whereas no glory's got to overcome.
Well, that's the least fear, for by the semblance of their white flags displayed, they bring us peace and come to us as favorers, not as foes.
Thou speakst like hymns untutored to repeat. Who makes the fairest show means most deceit. But bring they what they will and what they can, what need we fear? Our ground's the lowest when we are halfway there. Go tell their general we attend him here to know for what he comes and whence he comes and what he craves.
I go, my lord, my lord.
Welcome is peace if he on peace consist. If wars, we are unable to resist.
Lord Governor, for so we hear you are. Let not our ships and number of our men be like a beacon for to maze your eyes. We have heard your miseries as far as Tyre, and seen the desolation of your streets, nor come we to add sorrow to your tears, but to relieve them of their heavy load. And these, our ships, you haply may think, are like the Trojan horse was stuffed within, with bloody veins expecting overthrow, are stored with corn to make your needy bread, and give them life whom hunger starved half dead.
The gods of Greece protect you, and we'll pray for you.
Arise, I pray you. Arise, we do not look for reverence, but for love, and harborage for ourselves, our ships and men.
The which when any shall not gratify or pay you with unthankfulness in thought, be it our wives, our children, or ourselves, the curse of heaven and men succeed their evils. Till when, and the which I hope shall ne'er be seen, your grace is welcome to our town and us.
Which we'll welcome, we'll accept. Feast here a while, until our stars that frown lend us a smile.
Here, have you seen a mighty king? His child, I wis, to incest bring, a better prince and benign lord, that will prove awful both in deed and word. Be quiet then, as men should be, till he hath passed necessity. I'll show you those in trouble reign, losing a might, a mountain gain. The good in conversation, to whom I give my benison, is still at Tarsus, where each man thinks all is writ he spec and can. And to remember what he does, build his statue, to make him glorious. But tidings to the contrary are brought your eyes. What need speak I? Good Helicane, that stayed at home, not to eat honey like a drone from others' labors, for though he strive to kill in bad, keep good alive, and to fulfill his prince's desire, sends word of all that haps in Tyre, how Thaliard came full bent with sin, and hid intent to murder him, and that in Tarsus was not best longer for him to make his rest. He, doing so, put forth to seas, where, when men been, there's seldom ease. For now the wind begins to blow, thunder above and deeps below, make such unquiet that the ship should house him safe is racked and split, and he, good prince, having all lost, by waves from coast to coast is tossed, all perishin of men of pelf, ne aught escaping but himself, till fortune, tired with doing bad, threw him ashore to give him glad. And here he comes. What shall be next? Pardon, old Gower, this longs the text.
Yet cease your ire, you angry stars of heaven! Wind, rain, and thunder, remember, earthly man is but a substance that must yield to you. And I, as fits my nature, do obey you. Alas, the seas hath cast me on the rocks, washed me from shore to shore, and left me breath, nothing to think on but ensuing death. Let it suffice the greatness of your powers to have bereft a prince of all his fortunes, and having thrown him from your watery grave, here to have death in peace is all he'll crave.
What ho, pitch!
Come, bring away the nets.
What? Catch breach, I see.
What say you, master?
Oh, look how thou stirrest now. Come away, or I'll fetch thee with the onion.
Faith, master, I am thinking of the poor men that were cast away before us even now.
Ah, left poor souls. Yeah, it grieved my heart to hear what pitiful cries they made to us to help them when we could scarce help ourselves.
Nay, master, said not I as much when I saw the porpoise, how he bounced and tumbled. They say they're half fish, half flesh, a plague on them. They ne'er come, but I look to be washed. Master, I marvel how the fishes live in the sea.
Aye, as men do land, great ones. Yeah, eat up the little ones. I can compare our rich misers to nothing so filthy as to a whale. Plays and tumbles and dive in the poor fry before him, and at last devour him at all mouthful. Well, such whales I have heard on the land, and never leave gaping till they swallowed the whole parish, church, staple bells, and all.
A pretty moral.
But master, if I had been the sexton, I would have been that day in the belfry.
Why, man?
Because he would have swallowed me too. And when I had been in his belly, I would have kept such a jangling of the bells that he should never have left till he had cast bells, steeple, church, and parish up again. But if the good King Simonides were of my mind,
Simonides?
We would purge the land of these drones that rob the bee of her honey.
How from the finny subjects of the sea these Fishermen's tell the infirmities of men, and from their watery empire recollect all that many men may prove or men detect. A peace at your labor, honest fishermen.
Honest good fellow, what's that? If it be a day fits you, search out the calendar and nobody look after it.
May the sea hath cast upon your coast.
What a drunken knave was the sea to cast thee in our way.
A man whom both the waters and the wind in that vast tennis court hath made the ball for them to play upon, entreats you, pity him. He asks of you that never begged us to beg.
No, friend, cannot you beg? Here's them in our country of Greece gets more with begging than we can do with working.
Canst thou catch any fishes then?
I never practiced it.
Nay then, thou wilt starve, sure, for here's nothing to be got now a day unless thou canst fish 4.
What I have been, I have forgot to know. But what I am once teaches me to think on. A man thronged up with cold, my veins are chill and have no more of life than may suffice to give my tongue that heat to ask your help, which if you refuse when I am dead, for that I am a man, pray you see me buried.
Oh, die, get that. Oh, God's forbid. And I have a gown here. Come, put it on. Thou shalt come home and we'll have flesh for holidays, fish for fasting days, and more puddings and flapjacks, and thou shalt be welcome.
I thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I look to you, my friend. You said you could not begin?
I did but crave.
Okay, but crave. There I'll turn craver too, and so I shall escape whipping.
Why, are your beggars whipped then?
Oh, not all, my friend, not all. For if all your beggars were whipped, I would wish no better office than to be a beetle. But master, I'll draw up the net.
How well this honest mirth becomes their labor.
Hey, argue, sir. Do you know where ye are?
Not well.
Why? I'll tell ya. This is called Pentapolis, and our king, the good Simonides.
The good Simonides, do you call him?
Nice, sir. Yeah, he deserves so to be called for his peaceable reign and good government.
He is a happy king since he gains from his subjects the name of good by his government. How far is his court distant from the shore?
Oh, Mary, sir, half a day's journey, and I'll tell you, he hath a fair daughter, and tomorrow is her birthday. Oh, and there are princes and knights come from all parts of the world just to tourney for her love.
Were my fortunes equal to my desires, I could wish to make one there.
Sir, things must be as they may. What a man cannot get, he may lawfully deal for his wife's soul.
Oh.
Help! Master, help! Here's a fish hangs in the net like a poor man's right in the law. 'Twill honor come out. Ha! Thoughts on it. 'Tis come out at last, and 'tis turned to a rusty armor.
And armor? Friends, I pray you, let me see it. Thanks, fortune. Yet that after all thy crosses, thou givest me somewhat to repair myself, and though it was mine own part of my heritage, which my dead father did bequeath to me, with this strict charge, even as he left his life. Keep it, my Pericles. It hath been a shield twixt me and death, and pointed to this brace. For that it saved me, keep it. In this necessity, the which the gods protect thee from may defend thee. It kept where I kept. I so dearly loved it, till the rough seas that spares not any man took it in rage, though calmed, have given it again. I thank thee for it. My shipwrecks now no ill, since I have here my father gave in his will.
Oh, what mean ye, sir?
To beg you, kind friends, this coat of worth, for it was sometime target to a king. I know it by this mark. He loved me dearly, and for his sake, I wish the having of it, and that you guide me to your sovereign's court, where with it I may appear a gentleman. And if that ever my low fortune's better, I'll pay your bounties. Till then, rest your debtor.
Oi, wilt thou tourney for the lady?
I'll show the virtue I have borne in arms.
Why? Do you take it? And the gods give ye the good in it, huh?
Aye, but hark you, my friend. 'Twas we that made up this garment through the rough seams of the water. There are certain condolements, certain veils. I hope, sir, if you thrive, you'll remember from whence you had them.
Believe it, I will. By your furtherance, I am clothed in steel, and spite all the raptures of the sea, this jewel holds his building on my arm. Upon thy value, I will mount myself upon a courser whose delightful steps shall make the gazer joy to see him tread. Only, my friend, I yet am unprovided of a pair of bases.
Aye, oh goodness gracious. We'll sure provide. Thou shalt have my best gown to make thee a pair, and I'll bring thee to the court myself.
Then honor be but a goal to my will. This day I'll rise, or else add ill to ill.
Are the knights ready to begin the triumph?
They are, my liege, and stay your coming to present themselves.
Return them. We are ready, and our daughter here, in honor of whose birth these triumphs are, sits here like beauty's child, whom nature gat for men to see, and seeing, wonder at.
It pleaseth you, my royal father, to express my commendations great, whose merits less.
It's fit it should be so, for princes are a model which heaven makes like to itself. As jewels lose their glory if neglected, so princes their renowns if not respected. 'Tis now your honor, daughter, to entertain the labor of each knight in his device.
Which, to preserve mine honour, I'll perform.
Who is the first that doth prefer himself?
A knight of Sparta, my renowned father, and the device he bears upon his shield is a soldier reaching at the sun, the word lux tua vita mihi.
He loves you well that holds his life of you. Who is the second that presents himself?
A prince of Macedon, my royal father, and the device he bears upon his shield is an armed knight that's conquered by a lady, the motto thus in Spanish, Piu per dulcera que per forza.
And with the third?
The third, of Antioch, and his device, a wreath of chivalry, the word mi pompe provexit apex.
What is the fourth?
A burning torch that turned upside down. The word qui me elite me extinguit.
Which shows that beauty hath his power and will, which can as well inflame as it can kill.
The fifth, a hand environed with clouds, holding out gold that's by the touchstone tried, the motto thus, sic spectanta fides.
And what's the sixth and last, the which the knight himself with such a graceful courtesy delivered?
He seems to be a stranger, but his present is a withered branch that's only green at top, the motto in hac spe vivo.
A pretty moral. From the dejected state wherein he is, he hopes by you his fortunes may yet flourish.
He had need mean better than his outward show, can anyway speak in his just commend. For by his rusty outside he appears to have practiced more the whipstock than the lands.
He may well be a stranger, for he comes to an honored triumph strangely furnished.
Opinion's but a fool that makes us scan the outward habit by the inward man. But stay, the knights are coming. We will withdraw into the gallery.
The mean knight!
Knights, to say your welcome were superfluous. To place upon the volume of your deeds as in a title page your worth in arms were more than you expect or more than's fit, since every worth in show commends itself. Prepare for mirth becomes a feast. You are princes and my guests.
But you, my knight and guest, to whom this wreath of victory I give, and crown you king of this day's happiness.
Is more by fortune, lady, than my merit.
Call it by what you will, the day is yours, and here I hope is none that envies it. In framing an artist, art hath thus decreed to make some good, but others to exceed, and you are her labored scholar. Come, queen of the feast, or daughter, so you are, here take your place. Marshal, the rest as they deserve their grace.
We are honored much by good Simonides.
Your presence glads our days. Honor we love, for who hates honor hates the gods above.
They might say yonder is your place, some other is more fit.
Contend not, sir, for we are gentlemen, have neither in our hearts nor outward eyes envied the great, nor shall the low despise.
You are right, courteous knights.
Sit, sir, sit. By Jove, I wonder. That is king of thoughts. These cates resist me, he not thought upon.
By Juno that is queen of marriage, all viands that I eat do seem unsavory, wishing him my meat. Sure, he's a gallant gentleman.
He's but a country gentleman, has done no more than other knights have done, has broken a staff or so let it pass.
To me he seems like diamond to glass.
Yon king's to me like to my father's picture, which tells me that in his glory once he was, had princes sit like stars about his throne, and he the sun for them to reverence. None that beheld him but like lesser lights did veil their crowns to his supremacy, where now his sons like a glowworm in the night, the which hath fire in darkness none. in light, whereby I see that times the king of men, he's both the parent and he is their grave, and gives them what he will, not what they crave.
What? Are you merry, knights?
Who can be other in this royal presence?
Here, with a cup that's stored unto the brim, as do you love, filled to your mistress' lips, we drink this health to you.
Well, we thank you, Grace.
Yet pause a while. Yon knight doth sit too melancholy, as if the entertainment in our court had not a show might countervail his worth. Note it not you, Thaisa?
What is to me, my father?
Oh, attend, my daughter. Princes in this should live like gods above, who freely give to everyone that come to honor them. And princes not doing so are like to gnats, which make a sound, but killed are wondered at. Therefore, to make his entrance more sweet, here, say we drink this standing bowl of wine to him.
Alas, my father, it benefits not me unto a stranger knight to be so bold. He may my proffer take for an offence, since men take women's gifts for impudence.
How? Do as I bid you, or you'll move me else.
Now, by the gods, he could not please me better.
And furthermore, tell him, we desire to know of him, of whence he is, his name and parentage.
The king, my father, sir, has drunk to you.
I thank him.
Wishing it so much blood unto your life.
I thank both him and you, and pledge him freely.
And further, he desires to know of you, of whence you are, your name and parentage.
Gentleman of Tyre, my name Pericles, my education being in arts and arms, who looking for adventures in the world was by the rough seas reft of ships and men, and after shipwreck driven upon this shore.
He thanks your grace, names himself as Pericles, a gentleman of Tyre, who only by misfortune of the seas, bereft of ship and men, cast on this shore.
Now by the gods, I pity his misfortune, and will awake him from his melancholy. Come, gentlemen, we sit too long on trifles and waste the time which looks for other revels. Even in your armors, as you are addressed, will well become a soldier's dance. I will not have excuse with saying this. Loud music is too harsh for ladies' heads, since they love men in arms as well as beds. So this was well asked, 'twas so well performed. Come, sir, here's a lady that wants breathing too, and I have heard you knights of Tyre are excellent in making ladies trip, and that their measures are as excellent.
In those that practice them, they are, my lord.
Oh, that's as much as you would be denied of your fair courtesy. Unclasp, unclasp, thanks, gentlemen, to all have done well, but you the best, pages and lights to conduct these knights unto their several lodgings. Yours, sir, we have given order be next our own.
I am at your grace's pleasure.
Princes, it is too late to talk of love, and that's the mark I know you level at. Therefore, each one betake him to his rest. Tomorrow, all for speeding do their best.
Know, Aeschines, know this of me. Antiochus from incest lived not free, for which the most high gods not minding longer to withhold the vengeance that they had in store due to this heinous capital offense, even in the height and pride of all his glory, when he was seated in a chariot of an inestimable value, and his daughter with him, a fire from heaven came and shriveled up those bodies even to loathing, for they so stunk that all those eyes adored them ere their fall, scorn now their hands should give them burial.
'Twas very strange.
And yet but justice. For though this king was great, his greatness was no guard to bar heaven's shaft, but sin had his reward.
'Tis very true.
See, not a man in private conference or council has respect with him but he.
It shall no longer grieve without reproof, and cursed be he that will not second it.
Follow me then, Lord Helicane. A word.
With me.
Mhm.
And welcome. Happy day, my lords.
Know that our griefs are risen to the top, and now at length they overflow their banks.
Your griefs, for what? Wrong not your prince you love.
Wrong not yourself then, noble Helicane, but if the prince do live, let us salute him, or know what grounds made happy by his breath. If in the world he lived, we'll seek him out. If in his grave he rest, we'll find him there, and be resolved he lives to govern us, or dead, gives cause to mourn his funeral, and leave us to our free election.
Whose death, indeed, the strongest in our censure? And knowing this kingdom is without a head, like goodly buildings left without a roof, soon fall to ruin. Your noble self, that best known how to rule and how to reign, we thus submit unto our sovereign.
Live, noble Helicane.
Try honor's cause. Forbear your suffrages. If that you love Prince Pericles, forbear. Take I your wish, I leap into the seas, where's hourly trouble for a minute's ease. A 12-month longer let me entreat you to forbear the absence of your king. If in which time expired he not return, I shall with aged patience bear your yoke. But if I cannot win you to this love, go search like nobles, like noble subjects, and in your search spend your adventurous worth, whom, if you find and win unto reward, you shall like diamonds sit about his crown.
To wisdom he's a fool that will not yield, and since Lord Helicane enjoineth us, we with our travels will endeavor.
Then you love us, we you, and we'll clasp hands. When peers thus knit, a kingdom ever stands.
Good morrow to the good Simonides.
Knights, from my daughter this I let you know, that for this 12-month she'll not undertake a married life. Her reason to herself is only known, which from her by no means can I get.
May we not get access to her, my lord?
Faith, by no means. She hath so strictly tied her to her chamber that 'tis impossible. 12 moons more she'll wear Diana's livery. This by the eye of Cynthia hath she vowed, and on her virgin honor will not break it.
Loath to bid farewell, we take our leaves.
So, they are well dispatched. Now to my daughter's letter. She tells me here she'll wed the stranger knight, or never more to view nor day nor light. 'Tis well, mistress, your choice agrees with mine. I like that well. Nay, how absolute she's in it, not minding whether I dislike or no. Well, I do commend her choice, and will no longer have it delayed. Soft, here he comes. I must dissemble it.
All fortune to the good Simonides.
To you as much. Sir, I am beholding to you for your sweet music this last night. I do protest, my ears were never better fed with such delightful, pleasing harmony.
It is your grace's pleasure to commend, not my desert.
Sir, you are music's master.
The worst of all her scholars, my good lord.
Let me ask you one thing. What do you think of my daughter, sir?
Oh, a most virtuous princess.
She is fair, too, is she not?
As a fair day in summer, wondrous fair.
Sir, my daughter thinks very well of you. Aye, so well that you must be her master, and she will be your scholar, therefore look to it.
I am unworthy for her schoolmaster.
She thinks not so. Peruse this writing else.
What's here? A letter that she loves the knight of Tyre. 'Tis the king's subtlety to have my life Oh, seek not to entrap me, gracious lord, a stranger and distressed gentleman that never aimed so high to love your daughter, but bent all offices to honor her.
Thou hast bewitched my daughter, and thou art a villain.
By the gods, I have not. Never did thought of mine levy offense, nor never did my actions yet commence a deed that might gain her love or your displeasure.
Traitor, thou liest.
Traitor?
Aye, traitor.
Even in his throat, unless it be the king. No, that calls me traitor. I return the lie.
Now, by the gods, I do applaud his courage.
My actions are as noble as my thoughts, that never relished of a base descent. I came unto your court for an honors cause, and not to be a rebel to her state, and he that otherwise accounts of me. This sword shall prove he's honor's enemy.
No, here comes my daughter. She can witness it.
Then as you are as virtuous, as fair, resolve your angry father, if my tongue did ever solicit or my hand subscribe to any syllable that made love to you.
Why, sir, say if you had, who takes offence at that would make me glad?
Yea, mistress, are you so peremptory? I am glad on it with all my heart. I'll tame you. I'll bring you in subjection. Will you, not having my consent, bestow your love and your affections upon a stranger, who, for aught I know, may be, nor can I think the contrary, as great in blood as I myself? Therefore, hear you, mistress, either frame your will to mine, and you, sir, hear you, either be ruled by me, or I'll make you man and wife. Nay, come, your hands and lips must seal it too, and being joined, I'll thus your hopes destroy, and for further grief, God give you joy. What, are you both pleased?
Yes, if you love me, sir.
Even as my life, my blood that fosters it.
What, are you both agreed?
Yes.
Yes, if it
please
your majesty.
It pleaseth me so well that I will see you wed, and then with what haste you can, get you to bed.
Now sleep y-slacked hath the rout, no din but snores the house about, made louder by the o'erfed breast of this most pompous marriage feast. The cat with eyne of burning coal now couches from the mouse's hole, and crickets sing at the oven's mouth, are the blither for their drouth. Hymen hath brought the bride to bed, where by the loss of maidenhead a babe is moulded. Be attent, and time that is so briefly spent with your fine fancies quaintly etch. What's dumb in show, I'll plain with speech. By many a dern and painful perch of Pericles, the careful search by the four opposing coins, which the world together joins, is made with all due diligence, that horse and sail and high expense can steed the quest. At last from Tyre, fame answering the most strange inquire, to the court of King Simonides are letters brought, the tenor these: Antiochus and his daughter dead. The men of Tyrus on the head of Helicanus would set on the crown of Tyre, but he will none. The mutiny he there hastes to oppress, says to them, if King Pericles comes not home in twice 6 moons, he, obedient to their dooms, will take the crown. The sum of this, brought hither to Pentapolis, ye ravished the regions round, and every one with claps can sound, our heir apparent is a king. Who dreamt? Who thought of such a thing? Brief, he must hence depart to Tyre. His queen, with child, makes her desire, which who shall cross? Along to go. Omit we all their dole and woe. Lychorida, her nurse she takes, and so to sea. Their vessel shakes on Neptune's billow. Half the flood hath their keel cut, but fortune moved varies again. The grizzled north disgorges such a tempest forth, that as a duck for life that dives, so up and down the poor ship drives. The lady shrieks, and well anear does fall in travail with her fear, and what ensues in this fell storm shall for itself perform. I nil relate, action may conveniently the rest convey, which might not what by me is told in your imagination hold. This stage, the ship, upon whose deck the sea-tossed Pericles appears to speak.
The god of this great vast rebuke these surges, which wash both heaven and hell, and thou hast upon the winds command bind them in brass, having called them from the deep. Oh, still the deafening dreadful thunders gently quench thy nimble sulphurous flashes. Oh, how, Lychorida, how does my queen? Thou storm, venomously wilt thou spet all thyself. The seaman's whistle is a whisper in all the ears of death unheard. Lychorida! Oh, Lucina, oh, divinest patroness and midwife, gentle to those that cry by night, convey thy deity aboard our dancing boat. Make swift the pangs of my queen's travail. Now, Lychorida!
Here is a thing too young for such a place, who if it had conceit would die as I am like to do. Take this in your arms, this piece of your dead queen.
How, Lychorida?
Peace, patience, good sir, do not assist the storm. Here is all that is left living of your queen, a little daughter. For the sake of it, be manly and take comfort.
Oh, you gods, why do you make us love your goodly gifts and snatch them straight away? We are here below. Recall not what we give, and therein may use honor with you.
Patience, good sir, even for this charge.
Now mild may be thy life. For a more blusterous birth had never babe. Quiet and gentle thy conditions, for thou art the rudest welcome to this world that ever was prince's child. Oh, happy what follows. Thou hast a chiding a nativity as fire, air, water, earth, and heaven can make to herald thee from the womb. Even at the first thy loss is more than thy portage quit with all thou canst find here. Though the good gods throw their best eyes upon it.
What courage, sir. God save you.
Courage enough, I do not fear the flaw it hath done to me. The worst, yet for the love of this poor infant, this fresh new seafarer, I would it would be quiet.
Slack the bowlines there. Thou wilt not, wilt thou? Blow and split thyself.
But sea moon and brine and cloudy bill kiss the moon, I care not.
Sir, your queen must be overboard. The sea works high, the wind is loud, and it will not lie till the ship be cleared of the dead.
That's your superstition.
Pardon us, sir. With us at sea it hath been still observed, and we are strong in custom. Therefore, briefly yield her, for she must be overboard straight.
I think you meet most wretched queen.
Here she lies, sir.
A terrible childbed hast thou had, my dear. No light, no fire. The unfriendly elements forgot thee utterly, nor have I time to give thee hallow to thy grave, but straight must cast thee, scarcely coffin, in the ooze. Wherefore a monument upon thy bones, the ere remaining lamps, the belching whale, and humming water must o'erwhelm thy corpse, lying with simple shells. O Lychorida, bid Nestor bring me spices, ink, and paper, my casket, and my jewels, and bid Nicander bring me the satin coffin. Lay the babe upon the pillow. Ivy, whilst I say a priestly farewell to her. Suddenly, woman.
Sir, we have a chest beneath the hatches, caulked and bittoms ready.
I thank thee. Mariner, say, what coast is this?
We are near the coast of Tharsis.
Oh, thither, gentle mariner. Alter thy course for Tyre. Whence canst thou reach it?
By break of day, if the wind cease.
Oh, make for Tharsis. There I will visit Cleon, for the babe cannot hold out to Tyrus. There I'll leave it, at careful nursing. Go thy ways, good mariner. I'll bring the body presently.
Philemon, ho!
Doth my lord call?
Get fire and meat for these poor men. 'Tis been a turbulent and a stormy night.
I have been in many, but such a night as this till now I ne'er endured.
Your master will be dead ere you return. There's nothing can be ministered to nature that can recover him. Give this to the apothecary. Tell me how it works.
Good morrow to your lordship.
Gentlemen, why do you stir so early? Gentlemen?
Sir, our lodging, standing bleak on the sea, shook as the earth did quake. The very principles did seem to rend and all to topple. Pure surprise and fear made me quit the house. That is the cause we trouble you so early. 'Tis not our husbandry.
Oh, you say well.
But I much marvel that your lordship, having rich Tyre about you, should at these early hours shake off the golden slumber of repose. 'Tis most strange. Nature should be so conversant with pain, being thereto not compelled.
I hold it ever virtue and cunning were endowments greater than nobleness of riches. Careless heirs may the two latter darken and expend, but immortality attends the former, making a man a god. 'Tis known I ever have studied physic, through which secret art, by turning o'er authorities, I have, together with my practice, made familiar to me and to my aid the blessed infusions that dwells in vegetatives, in metals, stones, and can speak of the disturbances that nature works, and of her cures, which doth give me a more content in course of true delight than to be thirsty after tottering honor, or tie my pleasure up in silken bags to please the fool and death.
Your honor has through Ephesus poured forth your charity, and hundreds call themselves your creatures, who by you have been restored. And not your knowledge, your personal pain, but even your purse still open, hath built Lord Cerimon such strong renown as time shall never.
What's that?
Sir, even
Sir,
now,
now.
toss up upon our shore this chest. 'Tis of some wrack,
Sit down. Let's look upon't.
'Tis like a coffin, sir.
Whate'er it be, 'tis wondrous heavy. Wrench it open straight. If the sea's stomach be o'ercharged with gold, 'tis a good constraint of fortune it belches upon us.
'Tis so, my lord.
How close 'tis caulked and bittomed. Did the sea cast it up?
I never saw so huge a billow, sir, as tossed it up upon the shore.
Now wrench it open. Soft. It smells most sweetly in my sense.
A delicate odor.
As ever hit my nostril. So up with it. Oh, you most potent gods. What's here? A corse?
Most strange.
Shrouded in cloth of state and balmed and entreasured with full bags of spices. A passport, too. Apollo perfect me in the characters. Here I give to understand, if e'er this coffin drives a land, I, King Pericles, have lost this queen worth all our mundane cost. Who find her, give her burying. She was the daughter of a king. Besides this treasure for a fee, the gods requite his charity. If thou liv'st, Pericles, thou hast a heart that ever cracks for woe. Will this chance tonight?
Most likely, sir.
Nay, certainly tonight, for look how fresh she looks. There were two rough that threw her in the sea. Make a fire within. Fetch hither all my boxes in my closet. Death may usurp on nature many hours, and yet the fire of life kindle again the o'erpressed spirits. Now, I heard of an Egyptian that had 9 hours lying dead, who was by good appliance recovered. Well said, well said, well said. The fire and cloths, the rough and woeful music that we have, cause it to sound. I beseech you, the vial, once more. How thou stirrest, thou block. The music there. I pray you, give her air. Gentlemen, this queen will live. Nature awakes. A warmth breathes out of her. She hath not been entranced above 5 hours. See how she begins to blow into life's flower again.
The heavens through you increase our wonder and sets up your fame forever.
Oh, she is alive. Behold her eyelids, cases to those heavenly jewels which Pericles hath lost, begin to part their fringes of bright gold. The diamonds of a most praised water doth appear to make the world twice rich. Live and make us weep to hear your fate, fair creature, rare as you seem to be.
Oh, dear Diana, where am I? Where's my lord? What world is this?
Is not this strange? Most rare.
Hush, my gentle neighbors, lend me your hands. To the next chamber bear her. Get linen. Now this matter must be looked to, for her relapse is mortal. Come, come, and Aesculapius guide us.
Most honored Cleon, I must needs be gone. My 12 months are expired, and Tyre stands in litigious peace. You and your lady take from my heart all thankfulness. The gods make up the rest upon you.
Your shakes of fortune, though they haunt you mortally, yet glance full wonderingly on us.
Oh, your sweet queen, that the strict fates had pleased you, had brought her hither, to have blessed mine eyes with her.
We cannot but obey the powers above us. Could I rage and roar as doth the sea she lies in, yet the end must be as 'tis. My gentle babe, Marina, whom, for she was born at sea, I have named so. Here, I charge your charity withal, leaving her, the infant of your care, beseeching you to give her princely training, that she may be mannered as she is born.
Fear not, my lord, but think, your grace, that fed my country with your corn, for which the people's prayers still fall upon you, must in your child be thought on. If neglection should therein make me vile, the common body by you relieved would force me to my duty. But if to that my nature need a spur, The gods revenge it upon me and mine to the end of generation.
I believe you. Your honor and your goodness teach me to it without your vows, till she be married, madam, by bright Diana, whom we honor, all unscissored, shall this hair of mine remain, though I show no ill in it. So I take my leave. Good madam, make me blessed in your care in bringing up my child.
I have one myself, who shall not be more dear to my respect than yours, my lord.
Madam, my thanks and prayers.
We'll bring your grace e'en to the edge of the shore, then give you up to the masked Neptune and the gentlest winds of heaven.
I will embrace your offer. Come, dearest madam. Oh, no tears like Lychorida, no tears. Look to your little mistress, on whose grace you may depend hereafter. Come, my lord.
Madam, this letter and some certain jewels lay with you in your coffer, which are at your command. Know you the character?
It is my lord's. That I was shipped at sea, I well remember, even on my eaning time, but whether there delivered by the holy gods, I cannot rightly say. But since King Pericles, my wedded lord, I ne'er shall see again, a vestal livery will I take to me, and never more have joy.
Madam, if this you purpose as ye speak, Diana's temple is not distant far, where you may abide till your date expire. Moreover, if you please, a niece of mine shall there attend you.
My recompense is thanks, that's all. Yet my goodwill is great, though the gift small.
Imagine Pericles arrived at Tyre, welcomed and settled to his own desire. His woeful queen we leave at Ephesus. Unto Diana there's a votress. Now to Marina bend your mind, whom our fast-growing scene must find at Tarsus, and by Cleon trained in music's letters, who hath gained of education all the grace, which makes her both the heart and place of general wonder. But alack, that monster envy, oft the rack of earned praise, Marina's life seeks to take off by treason's knife. And in this kind, our Cleon hath one daughter, and a full-grown wench, even ripe for marriage right. This maid hight Philemon, and it is said for certain in our story she would ever with Marina be it when they weaved the slighted silk with fingers long, small, white as milk, or when she would with sharp needle wound the cambric which she made more sound by hurting it, or when to the lute she sung and made the night bird mute that still records with moan, or when she would with rich and constant pen veil to her mistress Diane still. This Philemon contends in skill with absolute Marina. So the dove of Paphos might with the crow vie feathers white. Marina gets all praises which are paid as debts and not as given. This so darks in Philemon all graceful marks that Cleon's wife with envy rare a present murderer does prepare for good Marina, that her daughter might stand peerless by this slaughter. The sooner her vile thoughts to stead, Lychorida, our nurse, is dead, and cursed Dionysa hath the pregnant instrument of wrath pressed for this blow. The unborn event I do commend to your content. Only I carried winged time, post on the lame feet of my rhyme, which never could I so convey, unless your thoughts went on my way. Dionysa does appear with Leonine, a murderer.
Thy oath remember, thou hast sworn to it. 'Tis but a blow which shall never be known. Thou canst not do a thing in the world so soon to yield thee so much profit. Let not conscience, which is but cold inflaming, thy lone bosom inflame too nicely, nor let pity, which every woman hath cast off, melt thee, but be a soldier to thy purpose.
I will do it, but yet she is a goodly creature.
The fitter than the gods should have her. Here she comes weeping for her only mistress's death. Thou art resolved?
I am resolved.
No, I will rob Tellus of her weed to strow thy green with flowers. The yellows, blues, the purple violets and marigolds shall be a carpet hang upon thy grave, while summer days doth last. Ay me, poor maid, born in a tempest when my mother died. This world to me is a lasting storm, whirring me from my friends.
How now, Marina? Why do you keep alone? How chance my daughter is not with you? Do not consume your blood with sorrowing. Have you a nurse of me? Lord, how your favor changed with this unprofitable woe. Come, give me your flowers ere the sea mar it. Walk with Leonine. The air is quick there, and it pierces and sharpens the stomach. Come, Leonine, take her by the arm. Walk with her.
No, I pray you, I'll not bereave you of your servant.
Come. I love the king your father and yourself with more than foreign heart. We every day expect him here. When he shall come and find our paragon to all reports thus blasted, he will repent the breadth of his great voyage, blame both my lord and me that we have taken no care to your best courses. Go, I pray you, walk and be cheerful once again. Reserve that excellent complexion which did steal the eyes of young and old. Care not for me, I can go home alone.
Well, I will go, but yet I have no desire to it.
Come, I know 'tis good for you. Walk half an hour. Leonine at the least, remember what I have said.
I warrant you, madam.
I'll leave you, my sweet lady, for a while. Pray walk softly, do not heat your blood. What, I must have care of you.
My thanks, sweet madam. Is this wind westerly that blows?
Southwest.
When I was born, the wind was north.
Was so?
My father, a nurse says, did never fear, but cried, "Good seaman," to the sailors, galling his kingly hands, hauling ropes and clasping to the mast, endured a sea that almost burst the deck.
When was this?
When I was born. Never was waves nor wind more violent, and from the ladder tackle washes off a canvas climber. "Ha," says one, "wilt out?" And with a dropping industry, they skip from stem to stern. The boatswain whistles and the master calls and trebles their confusion.
Come, say your prayers.
What mean you?
If you require a little space for prayer, I grant it. Pray be not tedious, for the gods are quick of ear, and I am sworn to do my work with haste.
Why, will you kill me?
To satisfy my lady.
Why would she have me killed now? As I can remember by my troth, I never did her hurt in all my life. I never spake bad word, nor did ill turn to any living creature. Believe me, law, I never killed a mouse, nor hurt a fly. I trod upon a worm against my will, but I wept for it. How have I offended? Wherein my death might yield her any profit, or my life imply her any danger?
My commission is not to reason of the deed, but do't.
No, you will not do it for all the world, I hope. You are well favored, and your looks for show you have a gentle heart. I saw you lately when you caught hurt in parting two that fought. Good sooth, it showed well in you. I did do so now. Your lady seeks my life. Come you between and save poor me, the weaker.
I am sworn and will dispatch.
Oh, villain!
What?
A prize! A prize!
Part mates, have part, come, and let's have her aboard suddenly.
These roguing thieves served the great pirate Valdez, and they have seized Marina. Let her go! There's no hope she will return. I'll swear she's dead and thrown into the sea. But I'll say further, perhaps that will please them. They will please themselves upon her, not carry her aboard. If she remain, whom they have ravished, must by me be slain.
Bawd,
Sir,
search the market narrowly. My Leonine is full of gallants. We lost too much money this month by being too wenchless.
yeah.
We were never so much out of creatures. We have but poor free, and they can do no more than they can do, and they, with continual action, are even as good as rotten.
Therefore, let's have fresh ones. Whate'er we pay for them. If there be not a conscience to be used in every trade, we shall never prosper.
Thou sayest true. 'Tis not our bringing up of poor bastards, as I think I have brought up some 11.
Aye, 211, and brought them down again. But so let's search the market.
What else, man? The stuff we have, a strong wind will blow it to pieces. They are so pitifully sodden.
If thou sayest true, there's too unwholesome a conscience. And the poor Transylvanian is dead that lay with the little baggage.
Aye, she quickly pooped him. She made him roast meat for worms. I'll go search the market.
3,000 or 4,000 cheekwins are very pretty a proportion to live quietly and so give over.
Why to give over, I pray you? Is it a shame to get when we're old?
Our credit comes not in like the commodity, nor the commodity wages, not with the danger. Therefore, if in our youth we could pick up some pretty estate, 'twere not amiss to keep our door hatched. Besides, the sore terms we stand upon with the gods will be strong with us, forgiving o'er.
Come, other sorts offend as well as we.
As well as we. Aye, and better too. We offend worse. Neither is our profession any trade. It's no calling. But here comes Bawd.
Come your ways, my masters. You say she's a virgin.
Oh, sir, we doubt it not.
Masters, I have gone through for this piece, you see. If you like her so. If not, I have lost my earnest.
Bawd, has she any qualities?
She has a good face, speaks well, and has excellent good clothes. There's no further necessity of qualities can make her be refused.
What's her price, Bawd?
Oh, I cannot be baited 1 dolt of 1,000 pieces.
Oh, well, follow me, my masters. You shall have your money presently. Wife, take her in, instruct her what she has to do, that she may not be raw in her entertainment.
Bawd, take you the marks of her, the colour of her hair, complexion, height, her age, with warrant of her virginity, and cry, he that will give most shall have her first. Such a maidenhead were no cheap thing. If men were as they have been, get this done as I command you.
Performance shall follow.
Oh, alack, that Leonine was so slack, so slow. He should have struck, not spoke. That these pirates, not enough barbarous, had not o'erboard thrown me for to seek my mother.
Why lament you, pretty one?
That I am pretty.
Come, the gods have done their part in you.
I accuse them not.
You are light into my hands, where you are like to live.
Oh, the more my fault to scape his hands where I was like to die.
Ay, and you shall live in pleasure.
No.
Yes, indeed you shall, and taste gentlemen of all fashions. You shall fare well. You shall have the difference of all complexions.
No.
What, do you stop your ears?
Are you a woman?
What would you have me be, and I be not a woman?
An honest woman or not a woman?
Marry, whip the gosling, I think I shall have something to do with you. Come, you're a foolish young sapling, and must be bowed, as I would have you.
Oh, the gods defend me.
If it please the gods to defend you by men, then men must comfort you, men must feed you, men must stir you up. Bolts returned.
Goody.
Now, sir, hast thou cried her through the market?
I have cried her almost to the number of her hairs. I have drawn a picture with my voice.
And I prithee, tell me, how dost thou find the inclination of the people, especially of the younger sort?
Faith, they listened to me as they would have hearkened to their father's testament. There was a Spanish mouth watered, and he went to bed to her very description.
We shall have him here tomorrow with his best ruff on.
Tonight. But mistress, do you know the French knight that cowers in the hams?
Who? Monsieur Verolus?
Aye, he offered to cut a caper at the proclamation, but he made a groan at it and swore he would see her tomorrow.
Well. As for him, he brought his disease hither. Here he does but repair it. I know who will come in our shadow, to scatter his crowns in the sun.
Well, if we had one of every nation a traveller, we should lodge them with this sign.
Pray you come hither a while. You have fortunes coming upon you. Mark me, you must seem to do that fearfully which you commit willingly. Despise profit where you have most gain. To weep that you live as you do makes pity in your lovers. Seldom but that pity begets you a good opinion, and that opinion a mere profit.
I understand you not.
Oh, take her home, mistress, take her home. These blushes of hers must be quenched with some present patience.
Thou sayest true, i' faith, so they must. For your bride goes to that with shame, which is her way to go with warrant.
Faith, some do and some do not. But mistress, if I have bargained for the joint,
thou mayest cut a morsel off the spit.
I may so.
Who should deny it? Come, young one, I like the manner of your garments well.
Aye, by my faith, they shall not be changed yet.
Bolt, spend thou that in the town. Report what a sojourner we have. You'll lose nothing by custom. When nature framed this piece, she meant thee a good turn. Therefore, say what a paragon she is, and thou hast the harvest of thine own report.
I warrant you, mistress, thunder shall not so awake the beds of eels as my giving out her beauty stirs up the lewdly inclined. I'll bring home some tonight.
Come your ways, follow me.
If fires be hot, knives sharp, or waters deep, untied I still my virgin knot will keep. Diana, aid my purpose.
What have we to do with Diana? Pray you, will you go with us?
Why are you foolish? Can it be undone?
Dionysa, such a piece of slaughter the sun and moon ne'er looked upon.
I think you'll turn a child again.
Were I chief lord of all this spacious world, I'd give it to undo the deed. Oh, lady, much less in blood than virtue, yet a princess to equal any single crown on the earth in the justice of compare. Oh, villain Leonine, whom thou hast poisoned too. If thou hadst drunk to him, 'had been a kindness, becoming well thy fact. What canst thou say when noble Pericles shall demand his child?
That she is dead. Nurses are not the fates to foster it, nor ever to preserve. She died at night. I'll say so. Who can cross it? Unless you play the pious innocent and for an honest attribute cry out, she died by foul play.
Oh, go to. Well, well, of all the faults beneath the heavens, the gods do like this worst.
Be one of those that thinks the petty wrens of Tharsis will fly hence and open this to Pericles. I do shame to think what a noble strain you are and how a coward a spirit.
To such proceeding, whoever but his approbation added, though not his prime consent, he did not flow from honorable courses.
Be it so then, yet none does know but you how she came dead, nor none can know, Leonine being gone. She did disdain my child and stood between her and fortunes. None would look on her but cast their gazes on Marina's face, whilst ours was blurted at and held in mocket, not worth the time of day. It pierced me through, and yet you call my course unnatural. You, not your child, well-loving. Yet I find it greets at me as enterprise of kindness performed to your sole daughter.
Heavens forgive it.
And as for Pericles, what should he say? We wept after her hearse, and yet we mourn. Her monument is almost finished, and her epitaphs in glittering golden characters express a general praise to her, and care in us whose expense 'tis done.
Thou art like the harpy, which to betray dost with thine angel's face, seize with thine eagle's talents.
You are like one that superstitiously do swear to the god that winter kills the flies, but yet I know you'll do as I advise.
Thus time we waste, and long leagues make short, sail seas in cockles, have and wish but for it, making to take our imagination from bourne to bourne, region to region. By you being pardoned, we commit no crime, to use one language in each several clime, where our scenes seem to live. I do beseech you to learn of me, who stand in the gaps to teach you the stages of our story. Pericles is now again thwarting the wayward seas, attended on by many a lord and knight, to see his daughter, all his live's delight. Old Helicanus goes along. Behind is left to govern it, you bear in mind, old Eschinus, whom Helicanus late advanced in time to great and high estate. Whale-sailing ships and bounteous winds have brought this king to Tharsis. Think his pilot thought. So with his steerage shall your thoughts grow on to fetch his daughter home, who first is gone. Like motes and shadows, see them move a while. Your ears unto your eyes I'll reconcile. See how belief may suffer by foul show. This borrowed passion stands for true old woe, and Pericles, in sorrow all devoured, with sighs shot through and biggest tears o'ershowered, leaves Tharsis and again embarks. He swears never to wash his face nor cut his hairs. He puts on sackcloth, and to sea he bears a tempest which his mortal vessel tears, and yet he rides it out. Now, please you, wit, the epitaph is for Marina writ by wicked Dionysa. The fairest, sweetest, and best lies here, who withered in her spring of year. She was of Tyre, the king's daughter, on whose foul death hath made this slaughter. Marina was she called, and at her birth, Thetis being proud, swallowed some part of the earth. Therefore the earth, fearing to be overflowed, hath Thetis' birth child on the heavens bestowed. Wherefore she does, and swears she'll never stint, make raging battery upon shores of flint. No visor does become black villainy so well as soft and tender flattery. Let Pericles believe his daughter's dead, and bear his courses to be ordered by Lady Fortune, while our scene must play his daughter's woe and heavy well-a-day in her unholy service. Patience then, and think you now are all in Mytilene.
Did you ever hear the like?
No, never shall do in such a place as this, she being once gone.
But to have divinity preached there? Did you ever dream of such a thing?
No, Come, I am for no more bawdy houses. Shall's go hear the Vestal sing?
I'll do anything now that is virtuous, but I am out of the road of running forever.
Well, I had rather than twice the worth of her that she never come here.
Fie upon her. She's able to freeze the god of the. She's able to freeze the god Priapus and undo a whole generation. We must either get her ravished or be rid of her. When she should do for clients her fitment and do me the kindness of our profession, she has me her quirks, her reasons, her master reasons, her prayers, her needs, that she would make a Puritan of the devil, if he should cheapen a kiss of her.
Faith, I must ravish her, or she'll disfurnish us of all our cavalaria, and make our swearers priests.
Oh, now the pox upon her green sickness for me.
Faith, there's no way to be rid on't but by the way to the pox. Here comes Lord Lysimachus disguised.
We should have both lord and loan, if the peevish baggage would be but give way to customers.
Oh no! How a dozen of virginities?
Now, by the gods, to bless your honour.
I am glad to see your honour in good health.
You may so. 'Tis better for you that your resorters stand upon sound legs. How now? Whereupon iniquity have you, that a man may deal withal and defy the surgeon?
We have one here, sir, if she would, but there never came her like in Mitylene.
If she do the deeds of darkness, thou would say?
Your honour knows what 'tis to say well enough.
Well, call forth, call forth.
For flesh and blood, sir, white and red, you shall see a rose, and she were a rose indeed, if she had but...
What, prithee?
Oh, sir, I can be modest.
Oh. That dignifies the renown of a bawd, no less than it gives a good report to a number to be chased.
Here comes that which grows to the stalk, never plucked yet, I can assure you.
Ah.
Is she not a fair creature?
Faith. She would serve after a long voyage at sea. Well, there's for you. Leave us.
I beseech your honour, give me leave a word, and I'll have done presently.
I beseech you, do.
First, I would have you know, this is an honourable man.
I desire to find him so that I may worthily note him.
Next, he's the governor of this country, and a man whom I am bound to.
Well, if he govern the country, you are bound to him indeed. But how honourable he is in that, I know not.
Pray you, without any more virginal fencing, will you use him kindly? He will line your apron with gold.
What he will do graciously, I will thankfully receive.
Are you done?
My lord, she's not paced yet. You must take some pains to work her to your manage. Come, we will leave his honour and her together. Go thy ways.
Now, pretty one, how long have you been at this trade?
What trade, sir?
Why, I cannot name, but I shall offend.
Oh, I cannot be offended with my trade. Please, you name it.
How long have you been at this profession?
E'er since I can remember.
Did you go to it so young? Were you a gamester at 5 or at 7?
Oh, earlier too, sir, if now I be one.
Oh, why, the house you dwell in proclaims you to be a creature of sail.
Well, do you know this house to be a place of such resort and will come into it? I hear say you're of honorable parts and are the governor of this place.
Why hath your principal made known unto you who I am?
Who is my principal?
Why, your herb woman, she that sets seeds and roots of shame and iniquity. Oh, you've heard something of my power, so stand aloof for more serious wooing. But I protest to thee, pretty one, my authority shall not see thee, or else look friendly upon thee. Come, bring me to some private place. Come.
If you were born to honor, show it now. If put upon you, make the judgment good that thought you worthy of it.
How's this? Some more. Be sage.
For me, that I am a maid, though most ungentle fortune have placed me in this sty, where since I came diseases have been sold dearer than physic, that the gods would set me free from this unhallowed place, though they did change me to the meanest bird that flies in the pure air.
I did not think thou couldst have spoke so well, ne'er dreamt thou couldst. Had I brought thither a corrupted mind, thy speech had altered it. Hold, here's gold for thee. Persever in that clear way thou goest, and the gods strengthen thee.
The good gods preserve you.
For me, be you thoughten that I came with no ill intent, for to me the very doors and windows savor vilely. Fare thee well. Thou art a piece of virtue, and I doubt not thy training hath been noble. Hold, here's more gold for thee. A curse upon him, die like a thief that robs thee of thy goodness. If thou dost hear from me, it shall be for thy good.
I beseech your honor, one piece for me.
Avaunt, thou damned doorkeeper. Your house, but for this virgin that doth profit, would sink and overwhelm you. Away!
How's this? We must take another course with you. If your peevish chastity, which is not worth a breakfast in the cheapest country under the cope, shall unto a whole household, let me be gelded like a spaniel. Come your ways.
Whither would you have me?
I must have your maidenhead taken off, or the common hangman shall execute it. Come your ways. We'll have no more gentlemen driven away. Come your ways, I say.
Now, what's the matter?
Oh, worse and worse, mistress. She has spoken holy words to the Lord. She has spoken holy words to the Lord Lysimachus.
Oh, abominable!
She makes our profession as if it were to stink afore the face of the gods.
Marry, hang her up forever.
The nobleman would have dealt with her like a nobleman, and she sent him away as cold as a snowball, saying his prayers too.
Bawd, take her away. Use her at thy pleasure. Crack the glass of her virginity and make the rest malleable.
And if she were a thornier piece of ground than she is, she shall be ploughed.
Oh, hark, you gods!
She conjures away with her. Would she had never come within my doors. Marry, hang you. She's born to undo us. Will you not go the way of womankind? Marry, come up, my dish of chastity, with rosemary and bays.
Come, mistress, come your ways with me.
Whither wilt thou have me?
To take from you the jewel you hold so dear.
Prithee, tell me one thing first.
Come now, your one thing.
What canst thou wish thine enemy to be?
Why, I could wish him to be my master, or rather my mistress.
Neither of these are so bad as thou art, since they do better thee in their command. Thou hold'st a place for which the painest fiend of hell would not in reputation change. Thou art the damned doorkeeper to every custrel that comes inquiring for his tib. To the choleric fisting of every rogue thy ear is liable. Thy food is such as hath been belched on by infected lungs.
What would you have me do? Go to the wars, would you? Where a man may serve 7 years for the loss of a leg, and have not money enough in the end to buy him a wooden one?
Do anything but this thou doest. Empty old receptacles or common shores of filth serve by indenture to the common hangman. Any of these ways are yet better than this. For what thou professest, a baboon, could he speak, would own a name too dear, that the gods would safely deliver me from this place. Here's gold for thee, if that thy master would gain by me. Proclaim that I can sing, weave, sew, and dance with other virtues which I'll keep from boast, and will undertake all these to teach. I doubt but this populous city will yield many scholars.
But can you teach me all this you speak of?
Prove that I cannot. Take me home again and prostitute me to the basest groom that doth frequent your house.
Well, I will see what I can do for thee. If I can place thee, I will.
But amongst honest women.
Faith, my acquaintance lies little amongst them. But since my master and mistress have brought you, there's no going but by their consent. Therefore, I will make them acquainted with your purpose, and I doubt not, but I shall find them tractable enough. Come, I will do what I can for thee. Come thy ways.
Marina thus the brothel escapes, and chances into an honest house, our story says. She sings like one immortal, and she dances as goddess-like to her admired lays. Deep clerks she dumbs, and with her kneel composes nature's own shape of bud, bird, branch, or berry, that even her art sisters the natural roses, her inkle silk twin with the ruby cherry, that pupils lack she none of noble race, who pour their bounty on her, and her gain she gives the cursed bawd. Here we her place, and to her father turn our thoughts again, where we left him on the sea. We there him lost, where driven before the winds he is arrived. Here where his daughter dwells, and on this coast suppose him now at anchor. The city strived god Neptune's annual feast to keep, from whence Lysimachus our Tyrian ship espies, his banner sable trimmed with rich expense, and to him in his barge with fervor hies. In your supposing once more put your sight of heavy Pericles, think this his bark, where what is done in action more, if might, shall be discovered. Please you sit and hark.
Where is Lord Helicanus? He can resolve you. Oh, here he is. Sir, there's a barge put off from Mytilene, and in it is Lysimachus the governor, who craves to come aboard. What is your will?
That he have his. Call up some gentlemen.
Oh, gentlemen, my lord calls.
Doth your lordship call?
Gentlemen, there is some of worth would come aboard. I pray greet them fairly.
Sir, this is the man that can and ought to would resolve you.
Hail, reverence, sir. The gods preserve you.
And you, to outlive the age I am and die as I would do.
You wish me well, being on shore, honoring of Neptune's triumphs. Seeing this goodly vessel rise before us, I made to it to know of whence you are.
First, what is your place?
I am the governor of this place you lie before.
Sir, our vessel is of Tyre, in it the king, a man who for this 3 months hath not spoken to anyone, nor taken sustenance, but to prorogue his grief.
Upon what ground is this distemperature?
It would be too tedious to repeat, but the main grief springs from the loss of a beloved daughter and a wife.
May we not see him?
You may, but bootless is your sight. He will not speak to any.
Yet let me obtain my wish.
Behold him. This was a goodly person till the disaster that one mortal night drove him to this.
Sir, King, all hail. The gods preserve you. Hail, royal sir.
It is in vain. He will not speak to you.
Sir, we have a maid in Mytilene. I durst wager would win some words of him.
'Tis well bethought. She questionless with her sweet harmony and other chosen attractions would allure and make a battery through his deafened parts, which now are midway stopped. She is all happy as the fairest of all, and with her fellow maids is now upon the levee shelter and abuts against the island side.
Sure, all effectless, yet nothing will omit that bears recovery's name. But since your kindness we have stretched thus far, let us beseech you that for our gold we may provision have, wherein we are not destitute for want, but weary for the staleness.
Oh, sir, a courtesy which we should not deny. If we should deny the most just God, for every graph would send a caterpillar to inflict our province. Yet once more, let me entreat to know at large the cause of your king's sorrow.
Sit, sir. I will recount it to you. Oh, but see, I am prevented.
Oh, here's the lady that I sent for. Welcome, fair one. It's not a goodly presence.
She's a gallant lady.
She's such a one that were I well assured, came of a gentle kind and noble stock. I wish no better choice and think me rarely to wed. Fair one, all goodness that consists in beauty, except even here, where is a kingly patient, but that thy prosperous and artificial feet can draw him but to answer thee in aught. Thy sacred physic shall receive such pay as thy desires can wish.
Sir, I will use my utmost skill in his recovery, provided that none but I and my companion maid be suffered to come near him.
Come, let us leave her, and the gods make her prosperous. Marked he your music?
No, nor looked on us.
These she will speak to him.
Hail, sir, my lord, lend ear. I am a maid, my lord, that ne'er before invited eyes, but have been gazed on like a comet. She speaks, my lord, that maybe hath endured a grief might equal yours, if both were justly weighed. Though wayward fortune did malign my state, my derivation was from ancestors who stood equivalent with mighty kings. But time hath rooted out my parentage into the world, and awkward casualties bound me in servitude. I will desist, but there is something glows upon my cheek and whispers in mine ear, go not till he speak.
My fortunes. Parentage. Good parentage to equal mine, was it not thus? What say you?
I said, my lord, if you did know my parentage, you would not do me violence.
I do think so. Pray you turn your eyes upon me. There's something that like... What, countrywoman? Here of these shores?
No, nor of any shores, yet I was mortally brought forth and am no other than I appear.
I am great with woe, and shall deliver weeping. My dearest wife was like this maid. And such a one my daughter might have been, my queen's square brows, her stature to an inch as wand-like straight as her voice, her eyes as jewel-like encased as richly in pace another Juno, who starves the ears she feeds and makes them hungry the more she gives them speech. Where do you live?
Where I am but a stranger, from the deck you may discern the place.
Where were you bred? And how achieved you these endowments which you make more rich to owe?
If I should tell my history, it would seem like lies disdained in the reporting.
Prithee, speak. Falseness cannot come from thee, for thou lookest modest as justice, and thou seemest a palace for the crown truth to dwell in. I will believe thee, and make my senses credit thy relation to points that seem impossible, for thou lookest like one I loved indeed. What were thy friends? Didst thou not say, well, when I did push thee back, which was when I perceived thee, that thou camest from good descending?
So indeed I did.
Report thy parentage. Yeah, I think thou saidst thou hadst been tossed from wrong to injury, and that thou thoughtst thy griefs might equal mine if both were open.
Some such thing I said, and said no more, but what my thoughts did warrant me was likely.
Tell thy story. If thine considerate prove the 1,000th part of my endurance, thou art a man, and I have suffered like a girl. Thou dost look like patience gazing on kings' graves, in smiling extremity out of act. What were thy friends? How lost thou them? Thy name, my most kind virgin, recount, I do beseech thee. Come, sit by me.
My name is Marina.
Oh, I am mocked. Oh, and now by some insensate god sent hither to make the world to laugh at me. Oh.
No, patience, good sir, or here I'll cease.
Oh, nay, I'll be patient. Thou little knowst how thou dost startle me to call thyself Marina.
The name was given me by one that had some power, my father, and a king.
How? A king's daughter? And called Marina?
You said you would believe me, but not to be a troubler of your peace, I will end here.
But are you flesh and blood? Have you a working pulse and no fairy? Motion? Well, speak on. Where were you born? And wherefore called Marina?
Called Marina, for I was born at sea.
At sea? What mother?
My mother was the daughter of a king who died the minute I was born, as my good nurse Lychorida hath oft delivered weeping.
Oh, stop there a little. This is the rarest dream that e'er doth sleep. Did mock sailed fools with all this cannot be, my daughter buried hid? Well, where were you bred? No, I'll hear you more to the bottom of your story and never interrupt you.
You scorn. Believe me, 'twere best I did give o'er.
No, I will believe you by the syllable of what you shall deliver, yet give me leave. How came you in these parts? Where were you bred?
The king, my father, did in Tarsus leave me, till cruel Cleon with his wicked wife did seek to murder me, and having wooed a villain to attempt it, who having drawn to do it, a crew of pirates came and rescued me, brought me to Mytilene. But good sir, whither will you have me? Why do you weep? It may be you think me an imposture. No, good faith, I am the daughter to King Pericles, if good King Pericles be.
Oh, Helicanus!
All's my lord.
Thou art a grave and noble counselor, most wise in general. Tell me, if thou canst, what this fate is. Oh, what is like to be that thus has made me weep?
I know not, but here's the regent, sir, of Mytilene speaks nobly of her.
She would never tell her parentage. Being demanded that, she would sit still and weep.
Oh, Helicanus, strike me. Honored sir, give me a gash. Put me to present pain, lest this great sea of joys rushing upon me over the shores of my mortality and drown me with their sweetness. Oh, come hither, that thou begetst him that did thee beget, thou that was born at sea, buried at Tarsus, and found at sea again. Oh, Helicanus! Oh, down on my knees, thank the holy gods, as loud as thunder threatens us. This is Marina! What was thy mother's name? Tell me, but that for truth can ne'er be confirmed enough, though doubts did ever sleep.
First, sir, I pray, what is your title?
I am Pericles of Tyre. But tell me now my drowned queen's name, as in the rest you said thou hast been godlike perfect, the heir of kingdoms, and another life to Pericles, thy father.
Is it no more to be your daughter than to say my mother's name was Thaisa? Thaisa was my mother who did end the minute I began.
Oh, no blessing upon thee. Rise, thou art my child. Oh, give me fresh garments. Oh, mine own Helicanus, she is not dead at Tarsus as she should have been by savage Cleon. She shall tell thee all, when thou shalt kneel and justified in knowledge she is thy very princess. Who is this?
Sir, 'tis the governor of Mytilene, who, hearing of your melancholy state, did come to see you.
I embrace you too. Give me my robes. Come on. Oh. Oh, I am wild in my beholding. Oh, heavens, bless my girl. Oh, but hark. What music. Tell Helicanus, my Marina, tell him, oh, point by point, for yet he seems to dote, how sure you are. My daughter, but what music?
My lord, I hear none.
None, but the music of the spears. Listen.
It is not good to cross him. Give him way.
Rarest sounds. Do ye not hear?
Music, my lord, I hear.
Most heavenly music. It nips me unto listening. Oh, and thick slumber hangs upon mine eyes. Let me rest.
A pillow for his head, so leave him all. Well, my companion friends, if this but answer to my just belief, I will remember you.
My temple stands in Ephesus. Hie thee thither, and do upon mine altar sacrifice. There, when my maiden priests are met together, before the people all, reveal how thou at sea didst lose thy wife, to mourn thy crosses with thy daughters call, and give them repetition to the life. Or perform my bidding, or thou livest in woe. Do it, and happy, by my silver bow, awake and tell thy dream.
Oh. Celestial Diane, Goddess Argentine, I will obey thee. Helicanus!
Sir?
Helicanus!
Sir?
My purpose was for Thausis, there to strike the inhospitable Cleon, but I am for another service first. Toward Ephesus, turn our blown sails, eftsoons, I'll tell thee why. Shall we refresh us, sir, upon your shore, and give you gold for such provision as our intents will need?
Sir, with all my heart, and when you come ashore, I'll have another suit.
You shall prevail, were it to woo my daughter, for it seems you have been noble towards her.
Sir, lend me your arm.
Come, my Marina.
Now our sands are almost run, more a little, and then dumb. This my last boon give me, for such kindness must relieve me, that you aptly will suppose what pageantry, what feats, what shows, what minstrelsy and pretty din the regent made in Mytilene to greet the king. So he thrived that he is promised to be wife to fair Marina, but in no wise till he had done his sacrifice as Diane bade, whereto being bound, the interim pray you all confound. In feathered briefness, sails are filled, and wishes fall out as their will at Ephesus, and all his company. That he can hither come so soon is by your fancies thankful doom.
Hail, Diane, to perform thy just command, I here confess myself the king of Tyre, who frightened from my country did wed at Pentapolis the fair Thaisa. At sea, in childbed she died, but brought forth a maid child called Marina, whom, O goddess, wears yet thy silver livery. She at Tharsis was nursed with Cleon, who at 14 years he sought to murder, but her better stars brought her to Mytilene, against whose shores riding her fortunes brought the maid aboard us, where by her most clear remembrance she made known herself my daughter.
Voice and favour! You are, O royal Pericles!
What means then none she dies? Help, gentlemen!
Noble sir, if you have told Diana's altar true, this is your wife.
Reverenda Pyrrhon, no, I threw her overboard with these very arms.
Upon this coast, I warrant you.
'Tis most certain.
Look to the lady. Oh, she's but overjoyed. Early in blustering morn, this lady was thrown upon the shore. I oped the coffin, found their rich jewels, recovered her, and placed her here in Diana's temple.
May we see them?
Great sir, they shall be brought to you to my house, whither I invite you. Look, Thaisa is recovered.
Oh, let me look. If you be none of mine, my sanctity will to my sense bend no licentious ear, but curb it spite of seeing. O my lord, are you not Pericles? Like him you spake, like him you are. Did you not name a tempest, a birth, and death?
Voice of Thaisa!
That Thaisa am I, supposed dead and drowned.
Oh, immortal Diane!
Now I know you better. When we with tears parted Pentapolis, the king my father gave you such a ring.
This, no more, you gods! Your present kindness makes my past miseries sport. You shall do well, that on the touching of her lips I may melt and no more be seen. Oh, come, be buried a second time within these arms.
My heart leaps to be gone into my mother's bosom.
Look, who kneels here, flesh of thy flesh, Thaisa, thy burden at the sea, and called Marina, for she was yielded there.
Blessed and mine own.
Hail, madam, and my queen.
I know you not.
You have heard me say, when I did fly from Tyre, I left behind an ancient substitute. Can you remember what I called the man? I have named him oft.
'Twas Helicanus, then.
Still confirmation. Embrace him. Dear Thaisa, this is he. Oh, now do I long to hear how you were found, how possibly preserved, and who to thank besides the gods for this great miracle.
Lord Cerimon, my lord, this man, through whom the gods have shown their power that can from first to last resolve you.
Reverend sir, the gods can have no mortal officer more like a god than you. Will you deliver how this dead queen relives?
I will, my lord. Beseech you first, go with me to my house, where shall be shown you all was found with her, how she came placed here in the temple, no needful thing omitted.
Oh, pure Diane, I bless thee for thy vision and will offer night oblations to thee. Oh, Thaisa, this prince, the fair betrothed of your daughter, shall marry her at Pentapolis. And now this ornament makes me look dismal, will I clip to form. And with this 14 years, no razor touched. To the grace thy marriage day, I'll beautify.
Lord Cerimon hath letters of good credit, sir. My father's dead.
Heavens make a star of him. Get there. My queen will celebrate their nuptials, and ourselves will in that kingdom spend our following days. Our son and daughter shall in Tyrus reign. Lord Cerimon, we do our longing stay to hear the rest untold. Sir, lead the way.
In Antiochus and his daughter you have heard of monstrous lust, the due and just reward. In Pericles, his queen and daughter, seen, although assailed with fortune fierce and keen, virtue preserved from fell destruction's blast, led on by heaven and crowned with joy at last. In Helicanus may you well descry a figure of truth, of faith, of loyalty. In reverend Cerimon there well appears the worth that learned charity aye wears. For wicked Cleon and his wife, when fame had spread his cursed deed, the honored name of Pericles to rage the city turn, that him and his they in his palace burn. The gods for murder seemed so content to punish, although not done, but meant. So, on your patience evermore attending, new joy wait on you. Here our play has ending.
All right, come on back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in tonight for this wild, wacky adventure. Next week, we will be off for the Labor Day holiday, but we will be back the Saturday after that with a new play. Come back on and come on back and join us. Good night.
Good night.